Hello, welcome to my video today. So today I'm just going to quickly talk about more of my program that I'm doing. Just kind of a few things that are coming up with just day-to-day things. One point I had was that we were doing a lot of, seems like more self-study or research into the topics instead of being like spoon-fed or the content like you would in undergrad. And I was kind of thinking about this and like, this, it makes sense because it is a graduate level. They present the content. Sometimes they might present some questions, but not even, and maybe, and then final or some sort of task to like a paper project or like a final. And it seems like this is, makes sense. It's graduate level. They're not gonna, you have to do these assignments every week, and they're due so that, to give you that motivation. But so that's one thing, and that's okay. That's not so bad. And like some of the projects, there's no like lecture content, so it's like a group project, but it's applied, engineering style, but it's also like research because you have to do your own research to figure out how to do it, which is totally fine. But something I'm noticing. And another thing though that I'm trying to figure out right now is, so right now I have 8 classes, and so in undergrad 6 classes for engineering was normal, but I normally took 5, and some other colleagues took 5 and just spread it out a bit more. And in other faculties like sciences, 5, or even some people would take 4. But engineering would be like 6. So I definitely have to say like 8, because one's German, and then the rest are they're all really connected, and like it's really weird. But it's not like it's 8 classes that are the same level of work that you would be in undergrad one. So I definitely think that. But the problem is that it's still 8 classes. You have to allocate, a certain amount of time for lectures and, assignment. There's no real assignments, but or just like making sure you kind of work through the topics and the problems to understand it along the way. Plus we have, some of them are big projects or research paper. So it's really hard to keep them all, really hard to keep track of them all. And it definitely does feel like 8 courses. It does feel like, for typically in previous like undergrad, I would have 6, 5. I took 6 like a couple times, but only 5. It's a lot of work for each of them. Like each one feels like has a lot of work to it. But so it doesn't, I don't know, like the classes, I guess it's not like it's less work. It's just they don't have assignments due every week. There's basically there's 2 classes that are big project classes. And then there's other ones that just have like an exam basically. But you still have to do the same amount of work to like keep up with the content and understand it. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out like 2 classes I could drop, but it's also difficult because a lot of these classes are interconnected. Some interconnected in the topics, but also some are interconnected in the exams. Like to register for the exams, 2 classes are in like one exam registration. So right now there's one I would like to drop and one I want to keep that are in the same exam registration. So that that's the problem. So I'm trying to figure out what would be the best way to do this. So there's another 2. I'm not going to get too detailed into the exact courses and everything, but there's other 2 courses that are similar topics and are in the same exam registration. They seem fine, but I also heard that it looks like a lot of work, and you have to make sure you keep it up, and the exams are hard. So it might be a good one or 2, package to drop. And yeah, so that might be good one. And yeah, so that's just a little bit more about the program, because I know there seems to be people that are interested in applying to the program that seem to be tuning in. So this might help just some insight on what it's like. Like I said, it's just different because a lot of these classes are connected. So it's like 2 classes are in one exam registration, and then there's like 3 classes that are like the same topic, but they're not necessarily on the same. So it's just more variables to consider when dealing with it. So it definitely doesn't seem like it's designed to split it up. You know, in undergrad you could take some of them, you have to take like before the next one, but in the later years, like 3rd and 4th year, majority of it you could just take whenever you wanted. So if you wanted to split it up, it wouldn't be a big deal. But this one seems to be quite designed to take it all together. But it's like too much for me. It's like, I don't want to take 8 classes. It's too much. Anyways, I think that's going to be a good enough quick little topic for today's video. And maybe subscribe if you like. Yeah, and I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.